Should she let the previous owner of her dog visit? Because she's all worried it might cause some stress on her dog. That is the email that Mo's got.
Hi, Bert Show. Love you guys and listen to you daily. You guys are awesome. And Abby, don't rush finding your person. They will show up when you least expect it.
Did it actually say that, or you ad-lib that?
No, that's what it says. Enjoy your 20s, girly. On to the topic. Rescue dogs. To allow or to not allow the previous owner to visit with my new dog. I adopted a beautiful pit bull mix. We will call her Darla.
Are we actually using a name change for a dog? Just to protect the innocent.
From the shelter just a few months ago. The shelter I adopted her from had a Clear the Shelter event at the time that I got her. So the shelter took a photo of us and posted it to their Facebook page, which I responded to. The previous owner noticed that she was adopted and reached out to me to thank me for adopting her, which was so sweet and welcomed and appreciated. On impulse, and being the kind of person I am, I said something like, feel free to visit her anytime.
Why'd you do that?
Which I really meant. But after thinking about it, and her asking to meet up, I am thinking maybe it would confuse my dog, and I'm worried that there would be more trauma for both of them opening up that wound and cause more emotional stress to both of them and possible behavior issues in Darla from the feelings of abandonment again. Or maybe it would be a good thing for both of them to show Darla that her previous owner still loves and cares about her and didn't want to leave her. She had to relinquish because she started spending too much time away from work and was also diagnosed with a lifelong medical condition, so she wasn't able to give Darla the time, attention, and exercise she needed. I feel she did the best thing for Darla, and I'm so lucky and thankful to get to have Darla in my life and my family's lives. I'm just worried meeting up with the previous owner is going to now cause more separation anxiety or stress, or maybe it will be a good thing. I'm torn on what to do here. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I'm not a pro here, but sometimes I think we assume animals have the same emotional capacity and intelligence in these areas that we do, and in a lot of cases they do. It doesn't sound like if the dog was coming from an abusive owner, and it would and the dog would clearly react in a way that you could tell that the abuse was coming from the owner, I'd say keep them separated. As a guy that's going through this right now with an adopted dog, I don't even know what her history is. I just know she's clearly been abused. Then I would say stay away. But in this situation, I don't think that there'll be the connection of abuse or abandonment to the dog.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that if it was a good home, that the dog would be happy to see their previous owner. I don't think it would take away from the new owner, but I also don't really speak dog, so I'm not 100% sure, but I do feel like it would be something that would be beneficial for both parties, the previous owner and the dog.
I don't think any harm is going to come to the dog by doing something like this, because like Bert said, if she's not coming from a traumatic rehoming, right? Like this, there was legitimate reasons why the previous owner wasn't able to, give her the care and love and attention that she deserved and needed. So she gave her back to the shelter, and the shelter was able to find her a new home. As long as it doesn't impede on you and your time, or it doesn't weigh on you in any capacity, I say go for it. And if anything, like whenever you go out of town or something like that, or you need a pet sitter, maybe this person can be like, the pet sitter for Darla. Use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I honestly think humans are more complicated than dogs. I think the dog is just going to be happy that somebody else wants to hang out with it and play with it. When I was reading this email,
it's not it's her.
Darla. When I was listening to Mo read the email, honestly, I thought the conflict was going to be more about like the previous owner wanting to spend too much time with the dog and come over all the time, and then maybe sneak off with the dog when you're not looking because she actually misses Darla because she was such a good dog. So I think honestly, as long as you're willing to deal with the actual other owner, and I think maybe the complications that could come with that, I think the more the merrier. Dogs are so much more simple than cats. Like I know I'm leaving my cat next week, and I'm like, is it going to be more traumatizing for her to be in the car for 7 hours and go to my mom's house, or is it going to be more traumatizing for her to be alone in my apartment for 4 days? And turns out cats just want to be alone, so I'm leaving her at my house.
I didn't think about that aspect of it. That's interesting, Abby, because would you feel comfortable with the previous dog owner babysitting or dog sitting your dog, and kind of in the back of your mind have that worry of what if they do just run off and want the dog back?
Or like you go back to get your dog and the door's locked and they refuse to relinquish the dog back over to you.
Right.
you would have to have a lot of trust there. I mean, that sounds pretty dramatic. I wouldn't have a problem with the former owner coming on over and thinking that they were going to kidnap the dog.
Well, you know me, I live in worst case scenario land, so everybody's a threat.
The Bert Show.